What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dell's Den, Dell's Corner. Really, I just wanted to be able to thank y'all for coming on in. Thank y'all for keeping up to date with all the videos that have been coming out, showing the support, showing your likes, showing your love. The comments too. The comments have been great. Um, there's more to come, but today's special video has been actually about 2-3 weeks in the making. One for audio issues. Two for video issues. And then just scheduling on top of all that. We were able to get it today. It was a challenge. But we'll briefly talk about that. If anything, you're probably going to end up seeing stuff like this never on this channel. So please bear with me, as this is the first time that I've ever had to do a reshoot with anyone. Period. For issues on a recording. Today's a new day. Anyways, don't forget to check out other additional social medias down below, especially the Instagram. The Instagram is where it's popping and where we're going to be able to see previews and teasers for upcoming videos in the future. I hope to see y'all soon. Thank y'all again. Peace.
Oh God, I love being a turtle!
2, 1. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dell's Den. I'm laughing because we've been having so many small issues, and we found a solution. We're just going to go ahead and be on the phone. But one more time, sir, let's get you introduced, and let's get this interview started, man.
Yeah, how's everyone doing? My name is Josh Bally. You may know me from the show Yo Gabba Gabba. I was the man inside the Muno suit. So I did the 3 seasons of the show, and then I did like 5 or 6 national tours.
Wow, that's a long time too. I mean, from start to finish, I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and again, the tours, you're traveling. That's crazy. We'll definitely we'll definitely get into that a little bit more. How did you audition for the show? Like, what made you kind of want to like start like auditioning for this television show?
Sure. Well, it's kind of one of those things where it's being in the right place at the right time. I had a friend. I worked at Disneyland for 7 years, and one of my friends, Lindsay, she did the pilot episode for GABA, and we worked together. And she came in, and at work, she's like, "Oh yeah, the pilot I did got picked up by Nickelodeon." And I was just joking around, and I said, "Hey, if you ever need anyone tall, let me know." And the guy, for the pilot, was just doing it, as a favor to help out the creators, Scott and Christian, and he wasn't going to do it full time. And so I went and auditioned and did a little dance and a little, like to some of the songs that they had, and a couple days later, I was offered the role.
Wow, wow. So you worked at Disney. How long did you work at Disney again?
7 years. 7 years.
7 years. Wow. Was it magical?
Yeah.
Was it magical?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, it was great. I was there at the end of the 45th anniversary, going into the 50th anniversary. So they were just doing everything because it was big time. So
right. Well, I being at a job for that long in general, especially Disney, I think that's definitely something special because you get to see all these individuals, live out their dreams. And we wanted to be here for so many years. I could only imagine how many faces you saw that were just ecstatic just to be there in general. Now, Now, Muno is the tallest. How tall are you, sir?
I am 6'1".
6'1".
Time that I did it, but now I'm 6'1". So.
Well, I mean, again, you did bring the character to life. I love how they decided to select you. Clearly you had to be able to sit there and say, hey, this is what I can do. But for you to be able to show them that you can bring that character to life says a lot, I think we briefly discussed it last time on the first session, is that, I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese. And it was one of those types of things. They wanted me to be the mouse, and I wasn't sure. And I figured nobody's going to know who I am underneath, so I can act silly all day, all I want. So the first time I went out there, I tried. I feel like I kind of failed, and I tried and I tried and I tried again. And it's just, that's all you can do is pick yourself back up. And There I am
Absolutely.
creating this character. You see all these kids, they've never seen Chucky act so limber before. Whenever you, after, getting on the show, meeting the cast, getting to know the people that you're going to be working with, how long did you guys had to like record together for? Like the days? How long were the days? How long were you on set?
It just depended, on the episodes because, sometimes we were all featured, sometimes it was strictly just Muno or another character. Um, so we usually filmed 2 episodes a week. We would go in on Monday and we would go over the songs and rehearse and do whatever we needed to do. And then
Hmm.
Tuesday through Friday was on camera filming on set. Also, it depended on the Super Music friends and the Dancey Dance guests, and when they could come in and do all that
Hmm.
stuff too. So it was very fluid. You just had to kind of go with the flow. They say in the entertainment business, it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
It just depends on what they had to do in regards to setting up a shot, setting up the scenery, the background, the costume.
Hmm.
There's a lot that goes into it. So,
Right.
and then sometimes the Dance and Dance would come in, and it wouldn't be part of that episode anyways, but you'd still have to do it. It was just,
Right, right.
you just
Just a lot going on at the same time, and it's just like, it could,
can't,
was it overwhelming at times? Was it overwhelming at times?
No, no, not at
No.
all. Not at all. No, there was some long days for sure.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, but there was also some short days. Sometimes you were there for a couple hours, depending. So myself, and the other guy that did Muno, David. When we weren't doing Muno, we would be like Google or some other
Mm,
characters on the show that would fit our height range.
right, right, right.
If we
Okay.
needed additional characters, so.
Okay, so you did more around than just being that one character. You were able
Yeah.
to participate in multiple ways. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I was Google and I was aliens and I all kinds of stuff.
Now, you were talking about like the dancey dances. You had those guests coming in, you had musicians coming in, kind of participating. What was that like when that started kind of happening? Because I remember in the beginning it wasn't like that, and then they started transitioning into started to bring in more, I guess, higher guest lists. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Right, right.
Yeah.
What was that like? You seeing them come in and you being able to see them interact and be a part of this show.
Oh, I mean, it was cool. Everyone that we had on was really, really nice. We were excited to have them, and they were also excited to be there.
Right.
And a lot of the times, they had kids that watched the show as well, so they were really excited
Mm-hmm.
that they could be a part of something that they could enjoy with their kids.
Of
And
course.
so it was and I'm not one to get starstruck in any way. Like, people are people. Everyone's the same. Everyone has different paths in life, and so
You
just talk to them like they're people. They're
right, right, right. Is there anybody that you would say that you might get starstruck at any point in
no,
time in your life?
no. There's, well, the one instance that I can remember is I'm a huge Kiss fan. Like, Kiss is my favorite band of all
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we were in LA and doing the live show. It was the live show,
Mm-hmm.
and Paul, Paul Stanley was there. The
Oh.
star child, our man from Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the powers that be, I was like, I'm a huge fan of Kiss. If I could meet Paul Stanley, that would be awesome. And and I did. I got to meet him out of
Awesome.
costume, obviously. And I went up to him and I was like, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan of Kiss for a long time. And he
Right.
said to me, this is the coolest thing, that probably the coolest compliment I've ever gotten, is, to my kid, you are the rock star. And I was like, oh, what?
Man, I can only imagine, man, being able to
Yeah,
hear
so I was
something
like,
like
oh,
that.
that's
That's
cool.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, that must have been a what do they say? A core memory. That's a core
Oh
memory
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
Now the traveling again, traveling, going to the events, in and out of the suit. Like, was at any point in time was that kind of taxing for you, or is that something that's like once in a lifetime type of situation? Like, hey.
Once in a lifetime. It was like five in a lifetime, because I got to do it. And I mean, and I'm super blessed for that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see, I've been to 49 of the 50 states. We never went to
Wow.
Alaska. We never went to
Ooh.
Hawaii, technically, to Hawaii. Um, and I've been through Canada. I've been, from
Mm-hmm.
Vancouver to Toronto, and performed on some of the biggest stages,
Mm-hmm.
that you can. Radio City Music Hall and the Macy's
Wow.
Thanksgiving Day Parade, and Jimmy Fallon a couple of times, and
Wow.
able to like do that, and you know and people don't know that it could be like I did Jimmy Fallon, and they're like, what?
Right, right. And that's the thing. Again, that's being underneath the suit. You have no clue. You did all these amazing things, and I that's that's another reason why I kind of wanted to be able to bring you on. Um, it was just like you're putting in the footwork, in my opinion. Like you're going out there. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a voice, like the voice Muno, I get it,
Yeah.
but you're the one that's sitting there and getting these children hyped up and all happy and dancing, and they're doing the dancey dance, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, it's you put I want to thank you one more time. I'll keep on continuing to thank you,
Oh,
because
thanks.
that's all you ever did was put smiles on our faces. um Now, while you were out of the suit, right? You're
Mhm.
going home. Show starts kind of picking up. What was it like to be able to see toys? Your figures just kind of running around with kids. Kids singing the songs that are on the show that you're a part of. Like,
Oh
what was
yeah.
that like for you?
Oh man, that's cool. It's so cool. I mean, I have a lot of toys. Like I'm a collector. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Right.
But I'm a collector, so I have a lot of Muno stuff. I have a lot of Gabba stuff. When my wife and I got married, our on top of our wedding cake, I had the Muno Funko Pop as the cake topper, and she had Wonder Woman, because she's my Wonder Woman, and she's
There you go.
badass. So that's my wife. um, but yeah, I mean, just and I've signed some Funko Pops, and I've signed some toys and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool just to be able to do that, and have a representation of what I did out there, and people like
Right.
collect it.
Yeah, I mean, it's out there for practically forever. As again, people to this day, as you know, I mean, you were at Hill Country Comic Con just recently. Um, you got to see families, you got to see kids, you got to see people that were
Oh
just
yeah,
like me, who
yeah.
were able to express like what you did for them. What was that like going to that Comic Con? What was your experience at the con, and then what was your experience being able to meet people like that?
Oh yeah, I mean the con was great. I got to hang out with Lance, which is always a pleasure and a blessing. And we go way back. So just hanging out with Lance is, I feel like Muno and Lance, we're like best friends on the show, and kind of in real life too. Like that's my
Mm-hmm.
brother. Like always will be. That's Uncle Lance to the kids, and just to meet the families and hear the stories, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing the show, when you're doing the tour, you're there, you're under the lights, you're sweating, you're So- and going back to kind of like what it was like on set, like sometimes it's great, and then sometimes you're just like, like the suit is hot. Don't get me wrong, the suit is hot. It's a hot suit. Like imagine putting on down sleeping bags, a couple of them, and just like dancing around under hot lights, and all the time. So it was a great workout. But hearing the stories of how you know parents and kids connected over it because of the music or the songs or the just the characters that they loved, that's what really makes it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to host a couple like Make-A-Wish kids on GABA,
Oh,
and so
wow.
just building relationships with those families as well, because that's
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible. Like that's you know, they can choose anything in the world, right? And then they chose to like, because GABA had such an impact on their life, an important connection between the kids and the family, that they wanted to do something with GABA, and that's like
Right.
what makes it all work. That's
Yeah.
that's the stories that you hear after the aftermath of because when you're doing the show, when you're recording and filming and on tour and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really get to see that, because like you said, you're going and you're doing it, and like like
Yeah.
I want to put on the best performance that I can, but then the after, when you get to hear the stories of how it impacted families so much, and that you made a difference in somebody's life, even though you didn't realize it until they tell you. That's what
Hmm.
really like hits home.
Clearly, you were able to see DJ Lance, Uncle Lance. Have you been able to keep in? Have you been able to keep up with anybody else?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We thanks to social media, we're able to follow everybody in their lives and what they're doing, and see their kids and see what they're doing now. And so I mean, we have like a group chat still that we're not talking on it every day, but it's like
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, like Happy Thanksgiving or Happy
Hmm.
Birthday. So just to even just like the small moments that we have together, like everyone's still like the GABA family, like
Right.
that's
Right.
what it is. And so
I mean, you
um
guys were
but
together
yeah.
for so long. It's like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
there's definitely a bond and a relationship in some type of way. We kind of heard and got teasers of something new that's coming about with the Yo Gabba Gabba, more like a reboot, if anything, from what I can hear. I know that
Yeah.
you have clarified that you're not a part of that project. What are you thinking about the new show coming about?
So yeah, it's called Yo Gabba Gabba Land. So it's not like
Oh.
it's not Yo Gabba Gabba. It's Yo Gabba Gabba Land.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some of the OG crew and Gabba got to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, I'm so proud of those guys. Just to see that they got to continue the legacy
Mm-hmm.
of Gabba. I'm interested to see what comes of it. So it's definitely a new direction for GABA, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I mean they still have some of the OG characters, so you're going to see some of the same
I mean,
moves and dances that you're used to.
I mean, when the show ended in general, I mean, it was definitely something like, really? Like this can keep going. Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
why can't we can continue this? And I think it also really relies on the music aspect of it. You guys were trying to teach kids something in each and every episode. Um,
Mhm.
the music really got me going more than anything. You get a child hooked on a tune, they ain't gonna let it down for like 30 minutes,
Oh
man.
yeah, I got
um,
4 kids. So I know how that goes.
Now, growing up, I mean, was it something that you wanted to be able to like introduce to your kids? Like,
Yeah, my 2 older kids. So I have a 16, a 12, an 8, and a 5. Um, and so the 2 older kids got to experience like the live shows.
mm-hmm.
So when we were touring and we were, close to, because I grew up in California, the Bay Area, and so when we were on tour, they got to come backstage. They got to meet Biz, rest in peace.
Hey, yep, yep.
Yeah, they got to meet Cool V. Biz and Cool V were the dynamic duo. They got to meet obviously Lance,
Mm-hmm.
all the characters, and so they grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 young ones, because of the internet and stuff, they're all into like anime and whatever whatever it is that they're into. Still know like Daddy did Yo Gabba Gabba, but not as much as the older kids were kind of into it. So
Right, right. Watch, it's gonna start. You're gonna see all these little figures again in the stores, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, my dad did that. That's right. You're doing this again, Dad? You didn't tell us. Like, what's going on?"
yeah.
All right, all right. Well, again, when it comes to Muno, when it comes to Yo Gabba Gabba, I want to thank you for everything that you've done, and continuing to
Okay.
be able to spread that love to individuals that are coming to want to see you, meet you. I really hope that you roll through back in our on our side of town again, because it'd be nice to meet you in person, or even at that. I mean, we're
Yeah,
really
man.
not that far away, so I don't mind driving.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Us-
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be at the Greater Austin Comic Con in July. So I don't know if are you coming to that, or are you?
I think I am. I think I am. I like Greater Austin. Have you been to Greater Austin before?
This will be my first time. So,
First time?
yeah, first time. And then I'll be at San Diego Comic Con. Not as a guest or anything, but I will be hanging out with Lance a little bit Friday and Saturday at the Comic Con.
So tell me about so let's touch base on San Diego then, because some people, like, I still talk about Comic Cons and people don't understand, like, the San Antonio Comic Cons here. I'm like, dude, it's nothing like San Diego.
Yeah.
Tell me how big your first time going to San Diego was. Like, how big was the Comic Con, would you say?
Oh gosh. I mean, San Diego Comic. I mean, that's one of the big three, right? There's San Diego, there's New York, and there's Emerald City. and which is Seattle, and I mean, but San Diego is like that's the mecca, right?
That's the big dog. That's the big dog. That's the
That's
big
the big
dog.
dog. And people go for specific reasons. And fortunately,
Yeah.
I go just to meet up with people that I know and say hello and that kind of thing. I'm not really about standing in line for hours and hours and hours for panels and whatnot. And so
Right.
I don't have that kind of craziness, but like it can get wild for sure.
I mean, I heard it's like shoulder to shoulder, right? Like it's that
Oh
packed.
yeah, oh yeah. Deadpool and Wolverine coming out and all
Oh
that
my
stuff. They're
God.
gonna.
It looks so good. It looks so good. But what even
It
looks
does.
what looks even better is your collection. Show me what you got. TMNT figures. We're talking about turtle figures. We're switching this
All right,
topic right now.
so we got a
Oh,
Donnie original, unpunched. There's no punch. You can
unpunched.
see
You see that,
unpunched
guys?
original
Unpunched.
88.
Donnie.
I got Mikey.
Same thing,
I know there's a
unpunched.
little bit there. Unpunched. I had these for a while. I got Raph. There we go. Unpunched.
Jeez, man.
I got some more. I got a Shredder.
So when did you get into TMNT?
Oh, from the beginning, man. From the beginning, I was, that it came out when I was a kid. So,
Right.
me and my best friend at the time, James, we had all the figures. We'd play with them. Here we go. Ray Fillet. We would read comics. We were all about turtles, man. We were just
so far,
turtles and
so
GI Joe. That was the thing.
so there's been so many different types of iterations from 1988 to today. So far,
Yeah.
which one would you say is your favorite?
You gotta love the originals, like those costumes and like the way that they were able to move in those costumes.
Jim Henson?
Like,
Oh.
is incredible. Like 1 and 2, right? Like Secret of the Ooze was awesome. I didn't mind Turtles in Time. It was okay,
Yeah.
but like the first two were like
Yeah.
legit.
They were good.
And like, Kevin Nash is Super Shredder.
He was only in there for like 2 seconds, but he was dope. It was one of the most epic moments.
Like being like a huge WWE, WWF fan, I don't know what I'm allowed to call. But that was cool too. And I actually got to meet Kevin Nash. Here's something that you probably didn't know is I was a part of WrestleMania. I don't remember the number, but it was the one that was in San Francisco. Well, not Santa Clara. I was
Okay.
a Scarecrow, Bray Wyatt, and I was a Russian, or not for, or yeah, for Bray Wyatt, and I was a Russian soldier for Rusev.
What?
And so I had all access backstage things.
What was
and
that
it was
like?
NWO and like DX had their thing. And so like I got to meet like Hogan and Nash and Triple H and Hunter and Shawn and like all these like
The
everybody.
OGs? The OGs? Wow. Wow.
It was cool, man. It was cool.
How long were you doing that for?
That was just like a one, like we went in, we had a rehearsal, and then the next day we did WrestleMania, and that was it. That was just like a like a one-off type deal.
So with the turtles, I know that it really gets passed down a lot into families. Were you able to pass down the turtles into your family?
Yeah, I mean, so we watched we watched like the new movie, and the new movie was actually pretty good. The one that just came out
Okay,
like a year ago.
Tell me about it. What do you think about the new movie?
It was good. I thought it was great. Like we took the whole family to watch it. Everybody loved it. We saw it in the movie theater. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of brought back the humor of
Right.
teenagers. They're
Yeah,
right?
it was so relatable in so many ways because like all these words and all these phrases that we knew, right, in 1990s, we could kind of connect in that type of way. But when it comes to them, I see this movie, I hear them talking, and I'm like, this is exactly how my 15-year-old talks. This is
Right.
awesome, but this is annoying at the same time. I can't do it, man. But I think overall, the way that they ended up introducing the turtles this time around was very smart. I think they marketed like they did back in the day. When turtles was a thing, you would see toys, figures, blankets, bed sheets. You're gonna see all types of marketing everywhere. I've never seen marketing happen like that in a very long time up until this past movie. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of nutty. It's been kind of nutty. I'm glad that it's still around. I'm glad that they're going in a really good direction. But it's good to know somebody else that likes the turtles
Oh yeah, man.
as much
Oh yeah.
as me. That's pretty cool. Could you imagine if Jim Henson worked on a Muno costume? That would be
Oh, that'd be cool. Well,
that would be
here's
crazy.
the thing: is well, to be honest with you, so the first season of the show, the costume was different than the second, third, and fourth season, and you can kind of see it. But we actually had a Henson guy build the season 2, season 3, season 4 costume, and also the touring
What?
costume. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. His name was Scott, and like so and I think he still works for Henson actually.
That's
And so
cool.
he was the costume maker for the
Wow.
Muno. Toby and Tootie and Fufa and Plex kind of stayed the same, but Muno
Thanks.
got a little upgrade. Yeah.
Well, that's dope, man. I didn't know that. I did not know that at
Yeah,
all.
of
I really appreciate you coming back in. If they need to go and follow you,
course,
see what's
man.
going on, where they need to go and find you, where they need to go and search for you at.
Sure. So, my Instagram is Muno Josh Bally. My Facebook, I don't really have like TikTok or anything like that, so
Mm-hmm.
can't find me there. But if you just search Josh Bally on Facebook or Muno Josh Bally on Instagram or Twitter, I have a Twitter as well. So just search me up. If you just type in my name, there's not many Josh Bally's in the world, so.
For sure. I'm gonna put the links down below, everybody. Don't forget to check out everything down below. Don't forget to reach out to him if you have any type of questions, or just go give him a follow. Let him know
Absolutely,
how much.
absolutely,
Let him know how much Yo Gabba Gabba meant to you. It meant a lot
absolutely.
to us. And one more time, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving me the opportunity a second time.
Let's
But
do it again, man. Let's do it again.
yeah, we're definitely gonna do it again.
And if anyone's going to Greater Austin Comic Con or San Diego, let me know and we'll come and say hi.
Austin. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And you guys have a fantastic rest of y'all's night. Peace.
Appreciate you, man.
God, I love being a turtle!